we ain't never had to think about nobody coming over here hurting us. You know what I mean? Like, we go to work, we do our thing, we have the comfort of a military. We really don't be having to think about that. But after this strike, the energy just feels different. I was watching this astrology video from this astrologer. His name is Rick. He just does little energy forecasts. This dude said within a week, there will be a strike, some sort of military activity. Within that week, right? So within this week, we have had a cartel leader killed, and we just have heard that the Iranian supreme leader has been killed in the strike. I was doing some studying, you know, as I usually do every day, just getting in tune, getting in touch with my cards. I tapped in with my deity and I said, will there be a strike on American soil in retaliation to the death of the Iranian supreme leader? As you can see here, I have the cards that I pulled, and the way I do it, I look at the card and I attribute the energy towards the subject in which I think the card is speaking to. The way that I read based on direction and gaze. Card meanings come into play a little bit, but to understand the energy that the card is speaking to, the subject is speaking to, I look at the interaction, I look at the pictures. Another method that works for me is I do a original layout and a mirror layout. In one layout, it can interchange, but the reason I do two layouts and I flip the cards is because what I've learned is when you pull a spread, typically you're going to get the energy of that moment. When you flip the cards, that is where your answer truly can lie. You can see the other perspective, right? Life is about being able to see two things. The more that I've done this, the more I'm able to know, okay, this layout is the present energy, the next layout is the answer I'm looking for, or vice versa. Sometimes it comes out where the original layout that I have is the answer, and the flip layout is actually the present energy. So, as we can see here, we got the 10 of Wands, we have the 4 of Wands. I attributed those to America. You may ask why. Well, you can see that this gentleman here on the left, he's carrying wands into a space that looks to be about a celebration or home. Wands deal with fire, deals with action. That's why I attributed this to America. See, we are in celebration in this country. You know, we're just enjoying our life. But at the same time, there's a lot of weight, a lot of burden right now that not only the citizens of this country is bearing, but the government. So when we move to the right, we have 5 of Swords reverse and a Devil reverse. Now, when a card is in a reverse position, you're dealing with either a block energy or a release of energy or an energy that is being suppressed, not yet manifested. Now, think about it. In our country, after this strike, there has been, maybe not celebration, but there is a success, right? Our 4 of Wands. But there's a lot of weight being carried behind that. Our 10 of Wands. We see look at how the 10 is moving towards the 4. He's bringing that burden, that weight towards that 4. The 4 of Wands is also spoken to be the home card. Notice how that 5 of Swords has his back turned towards the home card. Now, the 5 of Swords deals with a conflict. It deals with somebody who's willing to win at any cost. So if you look at the figures in the cards, when we get to the next layout, you will see that the smaller figures in that card look like they've lost something. And the main character in that card looks like he has won something. And he has won it in a way to where he doesn't care about the other figures. Then we have the Devil reverse. The Devil reverse deals with chains, bondage, deep, darker underworld kind of energy. As of right now, there is really no conflict yet. Now, we're talking about a strike on American soil. So when we look, there's no conflict here. And notice how that 5 of Swords is looking at the Devil reverse, right? So these energies are being suppressed right now. They're being internalized right now. As we move to the right, we have that Ace of Cups, right? Look at how that hand, it looks like the hand is offering something to the Devil and the 5 of Swords. And look how that 5 of Swords reverse is looking towards that Ace of Cups. That is why I attributed that Ace of Cups to America. Because think about it. After that strike, we've heard Trump saying, we've heard these diplomats saying of these other countries, hey, look, let's just stand down. We took them out. We don't want no more problems. Let's just move on without any more conflict, right? The Ace of Cups, a cup deals with that feeling, that emotion. Notice how it's offering something here. There's an offering here. We've been seeing these offerings. So we see our government and diplomats are people in alliance with us offering this cup towards Iran and other countries in alliance with them, saying, hey, just take it. You know, like let's be cool. But notice how that Page of Cups next to that has his back turned. And notice how he's looking at that Ace of Wands in reverse. Now, like I said, we're dealing with suppressed or internalized energy, right? The Page of Cups has his back turned to the Ace of Cups, which means that he's not fully acknowledging that offer. So this offer really is not true. It's not solid. It's not, this message, this offer is not really building anything genuine. When you're looking at Page of Cups reverse, you're looking at something or someone that is immature or maybe quite a little bit manipulative on more of the emotional side. So notice how that Page of Cups, he has his back turned on the Ace of Cups. He's offering, but he's not looking at it. He's really looking at that wand. There is something here that is being suppressed, that is being internalized, that he's looking at more instead of really looking at the offer of that cup. So he's offering something, but he's not looking at it. He's looking at what he can do. So what I'm looking at here is damage control, right? Like, so this will be, I would say this is the present energy because right now there has been no kind of on American soil strike. And when I say strike, I don't even necessarily mean bombs flying. We could be talking about cybersecurity. We could be talking about sleeper cells. We could be talking about any sort of retaliation from this other country on this soil. Right now, we don't see any of that. We're in 4 of Wands energy, but we're carrying the weight of what just happened. The citizens are feeling it. The government's feeling it. And it looks like right now with that 5 of Swords reverse energy, Iran they're not playing. They are not playing. They're looking at this, at what we're offering them, but they're not playing. So like I said, you know, that offer, that cup, you know, these offers to make amends are not honest. The Page of Cups has his attention looking at that Ace of Wands reverse. That's like, I'm offering you this, but my focus is over here. It's not really on the cup I'm giving you. It's focused on what I'm gonna do if you don't take this cup. So I wanted to make this all under 10 minutes, but I've been doing these 7 card spreads lately and I'm loving them because you get so much of a story, so much of a background of what's going on behind the scenes. But that Devil reverse and that 5 of Swords reverse, when I saw that, it don't look good. That's all I'm gonna say. But this is the present energy. So when we come back in our next segment, that is gonna be our answer. Right? Because this energy here, this is what's happening. That's how we know this is the present energy layout, because this is what's happening. Stay tuned. Well, welcome back to segment 2. This is where it's going to get a little deep. This is where it's going to get a little controversial. This is where it's going to get a little intense and disturbing. We'll hop right into it. Look at that Ten of Wands. Remember in that last layout, the Ten of Wands was upright, carrying his wands towards the Four of Wands upright? Here, the Ten of Wands is being dropped, carried away. And because of that, the Four of Wands is now reversed. To me, what this signifies is see, as long as America was handling or dealing with that issue of whatever's going over here in this conflict with Iran for all these years, we were able to stay in more of a stable space in this country. That strike may have made our government or even people in this country feel like, hey, we're relieved of a burden. Even the people in Iran feel like, hey, man, he's out. Like, we're done with that. But look at the outcome of it, though. You know, without that heavy work being carried, now there's an instability there. Next thing you see is that Five of Swords looking directly at that Four of Wands reverse. This is the byproduct of somebody who said, I don't got none to lose. And look at what's fueling that Five of Swords reverse. This can mean, hey, I believe in this, so I got to do it. Or, hey, by any means necessary, I got to do it. This is, like, I don't even want to say this is dark energy, but this is like energy where you're like obligated. Obligation is fueling this Five of Swords. That's why I put it as the Iran or the other country, the alliance country, because this is about any means. And Five of Swords deals with winning at any cost. Like I said, it's no coincidence he's looking at the American card, that Four of Wands reverse. And how did this come about? Well, because look at that Ace of Cups reverse. Look at how that hand is coming out from Iran or the alliance countryside. Remember that cup was being offered from the American side last time in the present layout? Well, this time it's being turned over. That means that whatever's being offered, they don't want it. And if you go turn on the news right now and go look at everything going on, Iran is not trying to make no peace. Iran isn't really trying to heed any threats that they're hearing America speak right now. And what this forces America to do is be a page of cup. Pages deal with messages, things being sent and received. Well, look how that page is. It's like it's one last offer, one last chance. In the present layout, it was offering the cup, but it wasn't looking at it. In this layout, it's forced to have to look at the cup that's being turned over. Now we're seeing more of a genuine stance from this page. And behind it, that Ace of Wands, right? To me, it's going to mean two things. One, it could just mean, like I said, damage control. Hey, we got to do something about this. Because like I said, you see that Four of Wands reverse due to the Five of Swords upright. It's like we got to do something about it. Hey, let's just try. Let's send in the message that we just want peace. Hey, or even like Trump said, hey, you'll see something you ain't never seen before, right? And with that Ace of Wands, that's that action card. That's that I got some in my sleeve. Just look at that card, though. It looks like one of those like hocus pocus magician kind of cards, right? So like I said in the last layer, I think what's so interesting about when I do larger spreads like this is look at how Iran's cards are sandwiched in between America's cards here. That Four of Wands reverse, that Five of Swords upright with that Devil upright, and that Ace of Cups reverse. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. It's not looking good. You know, I'll be honest. For Iran, there are no cards of like wands. Like, I would be looking for either some heavy major arcana cards, but mainly when we're talking about tangible, physical, action-oriented elements, we're usually looking for wands. And if you notice, we have more wands on the American side or the American cards than we do for Iran at all. For Iran, we only have a cup, a sword, and a major arcana, which is the devil. So when I look at this spread, is it possible that America can be struck in retaliation? Absolutely. That Five of Swords and devil with that Ace of Cups, that's a straight up, we don't want no peace, and we're obligated to get y'all back. And seeing how it's looking at the Four of Wands reverse, if the Four of Wands reverse is America, and the Four of Wands reverse represents the home card, the soil card, that means we about to get flipped on our head. But because there's no wands, I wouldn't even say we should be worried about a missile or bombs. That Five of Swords to me, and even with that devil there, because the devil deals with the underworld, was dark, hidden, but that Five of Swords to me is the most telling. We're dealing with the mind. We're dealing with something psychological. So whatever instability that comes from that retaliation is going to be due to something more of the psychological, mental realm. I mean, just even think about it. War now is not how it used to be. It's not physical anymore. It is a very mental and strategical kind of game, the very psychological game. I mean, shoot, even look at us as citizens. We're at war with our own government. They're not out here murdering and killing us. They're doing it in a very psychological way. So my analysis from what I'm able to obtain from my deity is more than likely there will be retaliation, and it will be on American soil. Will it be a missile strike? I don't know. Will it be a cyber attack? I don't know. May it be sleeper cells, or maybe even certain organized groups that are sitting in this country from people who have come over here? I don't know. But the fact that these cards have come out, and especially the cards for Iran, you know, if we had maybe cards with less of a impactful energy, more of a docile energy, I would definitely say probably not. But we're dealing with individuals who don't got nothing to lose. Like, they're obligated to make something shake. So if we want to do one more run through, right? Ten of Wands, reverse, weight released, supreme leader killed, conflict neutralized on the surface. But it leaves the stability of the country exposed, under attack. Possibly a retaliation from that Five of Swords with the devil and energy. Obligation to make you pay. We have an obligation to make you bleed, to make you suffer. And we don't want peace. Ace of Cups, we don't want peace. We don't want what you're offering no more. To the Page of Cups and the Ace of Wands, the outcome from all of that is America saying, hey, let's just be cool. Or, I mean, and this is the thing though, like, let's think about who's in office. Donald Trump, the type of dude he is. So yeah, like, you know, who knows, man? When you look at the timeline of events of these cards, it just looks like damage control. You know, it looks like we did something, we gonna pay for it, we pay for it, and we're trying to either make amends, or we're actually going to enact force upon the people that did it. But like I said, we're looking at Iran here. That's what we're asking about. Iran is represented by the Five of Swords, the devil, and the Ace of Cups reverse in this answer layout. Like I said, what we might be dealing with has nothing to even do with no bombs, man.